Jonas from Whole Body Chiro here. One of the most common questions that I get as a chiropractor is there any exercise that I can do to strengthen my back and stop this from happening again? And the answer is absolutely yes. However, what exercises is very unique and depend on the person and what their problem is. And basically need to have an assessment to determine what that is. But it follows a general sort of logic in how I prescribe my exercises. So I wanted to talk through that, and based on that you might get some ideas of what might be suitable for you. So the first thing that you need to realize is that most spinal problems, they haven't developed overnight. They have years of a slow developmental sort of process. And the reason these weaknesses around the spine develops is due to our lifestyle patterns. So, for example, forward head carriage it's something that sort of put lots of stress onto the neck and can also be a result of dysfunction in the neck, but head going forward like this. So if you sit on a computer, sit down all day, for example, it tends to promote that sort of slouch posture with forward head. It puts your both the lower front part of your lower neck at stress and the upper part just underneath the base of the skull under stress. So if you do that and you work on the laptop, say that's quite close, you really need to sort of look down. One thing to do to address that is to get the screen up higher so you can see taller. And if you finish that off with going to bed at night with a massive pillow around you behind your head, pushing your head forward when you lie on your back, then start to decrease in size, so that can once again help you to straighten out. So the first thing to look at is more than exercises is what do you do on a daily basis? What do you do really frequently? And frequency is the important thing there. Like if you're sitting every day behind your computer again and just leaning down with your right shoulder lower and leaning onto that right armrest to work with the mouse, and then you come home at the end of the day, sit down in front of the TV and once again lean down on the couch on the armrest like that repetitive lean to the side, going to have an effect on the strength and flexibility around your spine and make it more likely to develop problems there. So that's the first thing to address. Uneven stresses onto your spine that you do on a frequent basis. So once I get clients to get out of that most locked up part in the recovery process, and we're sort of starting to change the curve from sort of heading down, getting worse to start to get things to start healing and get better again. Next stage is to loosen up the spine. As a general rule, people are too stiff and tense and lots of guarding around the spine, so we want to loosen everything up again. That can be as simple as going for small frequent walks throughout the day and just sort of swinging the arms and have a nice sort of easy gait, not power walking and creating more tension, but nice and relaxed walk. And that would get nutrients into the joint surfaces and help them to heal. Some gentle stretches as well, like if you think of a cat or a dog standing up after lying down or sitting down for long periods of time, like stretching and getting all the joint fluid into those joints and lubricating joint surfaces and getting them healthy. And I think we should do the same thing, like a bit of a stretch first thing in the morning, say when you stand up from a desk, and do that frequently throughout the day. So in this second phase, the main focus is frequent full range joint movement throughout the day. So not just like 2 hours of hardcore training at the very end of the day and then sit all day before that, but frequently throughout the day. Frequency is really important, particularly when you're recovering from injury. Then once you sort of got starting to get things to move easier, be looser and more relaxed, the next stage is to start to create postural control and stabilize around this new level of function. And to be like careful in the beginning, it's quite good to practice that locked in stable posture and do exercises around that. So plank could be a perfect example, lying on your toes and your elbows in with your spine in neutral and learning just to control and lock that in. And then gradually making it harder by lifting a leg, lifting an arm, and keeping that core absolutely locked into neutral and really stable. And after you've done that, you can head into more dynamic exercises. But once you've really been feeling 100% in your own mind for quite some time, to really sort of expand your stability and control by making the training environment less predictable and adding more weight and so forth. But that's very, very late in the strengthening and recovery process. So that sort of gives you a general outline of how I approach that common question and exercises they can do to strengthen your back. But you should really go to your practitioner and get a guidance along the way.